It is 6:50. Your Sunrise Smart Start here on this Monday begins with breaking updates. Right now, crews are tearing down a home in the city. That's on Columbia Avenue, southwest Rochester. It burned early this morning. You see the demo well underway. RFD arrived at the scene for getting calls around 2:30. The roof and back wall were already burned down. The department says it took about half an hour to get the flames under control. The home was vacant and boarded up. It's been a problem, though, for first responders. There was another fire there about a month ago. No reports of any injuries. You see that demolition, though, about halfway done. We'll bring you more updates from RFD once we do hear from firefighters again throughout the day over at RochesterFirst.com in midday News 8 at noon. More breaking headlines. A deadly shootout in Seattle at the home of a popular festival right beneath the Space Needle. At least 3 victims killed, 4 others, including a child, wounded. 1 suspect is in custody. The other hasn't been found. The shooting started just after 6 p.m. at the Bite of Seattle, an event that brings in more than 250,000 people each year, including many families. Victims were rushed to the closest hospital, including a wounded toddler. Police say the public is not at risk, but the city's mayor pointed the finger at the overall problem of gun violence. Seattle police are leading the investigation, along with getting help from the FBI and ATF agents who made it to the scene. Happening today, one of 2 men charged in a decades-old killing of a Rochester woman is due in court. Roy Green, a citizen of Canada, was extradited here earlier this year to face charges for the murder of Victoria Jobson. In the fall of 1992, her family reported her missing. Jobson's body was found months later in a vacant lot on Rudder Street. She'd been stabbed multiple times, left for dead. The case went cold for many years, up until 2024, a break. 57-year-old Arthur Jason was indicted. Detectives say after the homicide, Green took off to an Indian reservation in Canada. He's due in court this morning at 9:30. Jason's next hearing is a week from Thursday. Both men have pleaded not guilty to their charges. It's been 1 year as of this week since 25-year-old Jameer Ridley Smith, also known as Budo, was shot and killed at the Wegmans distribution site in Gates. His family got together Sunday to celebrate his memory with a heartfelt barbecue and a balloon release. His mother tells us her son was a good person and hard worker, had dreams to become a rapper. She chose to play his music at the Vigil, saying it's her way of clinging on to her son's legacy. July 26 last year, police say Jameer was working at the warehouse on Brooks Avenue when his co-worker Kyshawn Green shot him multiple times and left the scene. Green was found the next day in Knoxville, Tennessee. Last month, he was sentenced to 23 years to life for second-degree murder. The victim's mother says none of it is still enough.
I said before, the time that he got still to me is not enough time because my son is still gone. I'm trying to continue to live for him because I hear his voice every day saying, "Ma, you got to take care of yourself." So, because he would always tell me that you got to take care of yourself. So, I just hear his voice every day telling me that.
The mother shared with News 8 that she did get a call from Wegmans letting her know the company had a moment of silence over the weekend in honor of her son. The beloved Bauman's Farm Market in Penfield is back open once again for the first time since that huge fire destroyed it in the middle of last week. Since the building went up in flames Wednesday, it's been a roller coaster of emotions for the family, but they say they are overwhelmed with all the love from neighbors and fellow farmers that's keeping their spirits up as people continue to buy their fresh produce and flowers. They say they're in a hurry up and wait situation. They don't know how long it'll be till they get the cause of the fire announced, and they're still navigating all the claims with the insurance company. Meantime, customers keep showing up.
It really spoke to my children and my family about the lesson of resiliency, how this family is moving forward and up through a time that could have crushed anybody. And what rises above the ashes is a beautiful thing. To see them just pick the pieces up and come here warmer, stronger than before, it's amazing.
The farm will be open again today, 10 to 2. They're encouraging all customers to follow them online at the website and Facebook pages for more updates as they adjust those as they start to rebuild. Your sunrise traffic here, 6 minutes to go until 7. Still have RPD blocking that area at Lyle and Saratoga. That was a hit and run. No life-threatening injuries reported. We'll bring you some more updates from that as soon as we have them. Elsewhere, S490 east and westbound looking okay. 590, 104 the Bay Bridge in and out of Webster. Things are moving along on our traffic map. New this morning, New York has been granted a disaster designation from the USDA following extreme weather going back to the spring that really affected so many fruit growing operations. Farmers who faced everything, frost, high winds, and flooding through the months of April and May, they can be considered for emergency loans if they qualify. Those in the covered region suffered an estimated loss of more than $30 million. State officials say some of the biggest crop losses included apples, stone fruit, grapes, and strawberries as well. Farmers can apply online to try to get some of that help. For our weather this week, you think about these farmers, they like to have rain coming. It's just we've had buckets of it all at once throughout the month.
Yeah, for sure. And frost was the big thing that bit them.
It was, yeah.
We had many times where things started to bud and then it dropped in the 20s. So that was the big issue there. For us this week, it is the rain. We'll be covering this quite extensively for both tomorrow and Wednesday.
We will. 9 o'clock, we'll see you for our podcast. Second Cup of Sunrise on the Rochester First streaming app. Catching up on going to the beach over the weekend. Also, the Odyssey experience in the big theater.
We're
going solo
to
for
hearing
that.
I did Kershaw Park yesterday.
Ooh, nice.
For there, we'll talk about that.
Another good spot in Cannon-Day West. CBS Mornings on the way. We'll see you back here at 7:25.
Follow News 8 wherever you are on RochesterFirst.com, Facebook, X, and on our app for news and weather. Get the Rochester First streaming app today for everything you love from News 8 on demand, plus exclusive shows you won't see anywhere else. Search ROC and download for free on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV.